Hi, my name is Dina and I'm a guide at Get Set Up. And today we're gonna learn to paint some very simple flowers with watercolors. Now remember, jump in that chat, leave us some feedback and give us your thoughts, okay? So let's get started. How do you paint this flower? It is super easy. So the first thing is, here is the flower. This is what I call a very simple heart flower, even though it's not really hearts. But what I love about this flower is that it is very, very loose. We're not painting really tight. We're just gonna lay some strokes down. This is a great loose painting. So if you can see what I'm talking about, there's kind of a heart shape in here with what I call like little commas on the side. Same thing over here, little commas on the side. Then over here, this is a flower that's facing the other way. Again, hearts with little commas. That is all that is. So let's get started, okay? Decide what color you want. What color makes you happy? Any kind of color you want. Let's start with some clean water here, friends, and let's lay it down. I'm going to use some of this beautiful Prussian blue. I love Prussian blue, but I don't want it to be super thick, right? So I'm not making it that buttery. I'm making it nice and light. Okay, I'm going to start here in the middle. Notice where my hand is on my brush. I'm going to kind of paint a heart. Now, I don't want to come in really close with this heart. I'm pulling it away just like this. See how I did that just like that? Heart, comma, comma. Very simple. Let's get some more water on our brush. Let's come over here and do kind of the same thing. The little comma and a little comma. Same thing over here. See how nice and loose this painting is? Just super loose. Then come down here, do the same kind of thing. The little comma and a little comma. This is just all about being loose and having a really good time with it. Now what I can do is come in here. I'm going to grab a little bit more of that Prussian blue. Now I am going to thicken this up just a little bit. And I'm going to do this wet on wet technique. So I'm going to come in here and just lay this. Now watch how that blooms. That is just going to bloom out and so that it spreads. It's going to keep doing that as long as this is wet. Now I'm leaving the center open so I can come back in later and paint a stamen in the middle, right? This will continue to spread. Now let's say you want to do it to the side. Very easy. So think about it. If we look at this one, see how this is turned to the side like this. This one is full front. That one is to the side. So let's do that one. How do you do that? Well, we're going to get that nice light Prussian blue. We're going to go to the side. Okay. I like to start in the center. See how I went to the side? And now we're going to come up to the top and then one down here to the bottom. Pretty simple. Now, we want this to kind of make a little bit more sense in here, so I'm going to put a little comma there and a little comma down here. Just like that. Then I can come in with that blue again, that darker Prussian blue, and just touch it in. Look at how that spreads. Isn't that just lovely? Just like that. Now let's say you want to do one at the top, kind of like the one I did here. So this kind of looks like we're looking up, like maybe we are a little bit of an insect or something and we're looking up at this flower. How do we do that? Same kind of deal. Let's grab some of that Prussian blue. We're going to start with that kind of heart shape. But because we're looking at it from the side, we're going to do kind of just two hearts on this side. Just like that. Maybe do them a little bit of a comma in there to connect those. Grab a little bit of that dark Prussian blue and touch it in. Ooh, that one went really dark, but look at that color spread. That's fabulous. Now down here, it kind of went away. Let's add a little bit more. So if it's still wet, look at that. Look at that spread on that. It's fabulous. Now we want to let these dry before we would put in the centers. But one thing that I really, really like to do is to come in with this green. This is going to be the stem. Now, what I really like to do, especially with this one and the one down here, not so much the one here, but the ones here, if I start them here, they're going to spread into that flower just a little bit, which is really nice because it looks like there's actually a stem coming out of the back of this flower. Same thing up here, come down, it spreads up. It's a little hard to see with that Prussian blue, but it's absolutely fabulous. Notice I'm just kind of bringing this down, just like this. Same thing here, but I'm not going to come all the way up. And then you can paint in some stems. Pretty easy. Let's talk about centers really quick before we talk about leaves and stems. So as we're doing this right here, you can see through the magic of television that this is miraculously dried. And so let's talk about how are we going to do that center. Well, you can do the centers any color you want, but let's do yellow. Cadmium yellow is my favorite yellow. And a little bit in the clean water, a little bit in the dirty water. I'm going to grab some of this cadmium yellow. I want to make sure it's nice and buttery. And I'm just going to come in and tap it in the center here. Just nice and easy. You can even come in and add a little bit of orange into this later, or a little bit of red. It is just kind of however you want to do it. Think about the way that that stamen would sit inside of that flower that you imagine. And so that's it, my friends. That is how you paint a very simple flower. Now look for a class that I'm going to teach next about how to paint those leaves and stems so that we can finish out our flower. Thank you so much for attending this class, and I hope to see you soon.